Hello, good morning. How are you, everybody? I'm so glad we have quite a bit people today from Hong Kong, from Philippines, from Hawaii, from Chicago, not from Chicago, from I think they're from Los Angeles. So it's really a big group here, so which is really good. And but I just want to make sure can Eugene see 1-2. Okay, great. That's what Eugene can see it. Okay, wonderful. I appreciate you hook it up and Eugene responds. But anyway, let me share with you some of the things that we want to talk about. Last couple of weeks, we actually had a lot of discussion regarding our peripheral circulation. Why peripheral circulation is no good. And then we have a lot of questions, people from really worry about Alzheimer, peripheral skin damages, and really cannot feel. And many people actually associate, say, hey, my skin is real dry, and I cannot feel either. And that is really truly the early sign. And matter of fact, one of the customers even say, you know what, my mother-in-law start accusing, the maid stealing her stuff. And I said, well, that is an early sign of basically Alzheimer, which is very typical. And they, losing trust. So really, I start realizing there's a lot of people have the similar issue. So, that's why I rescinded sort of the webinar for you folks to want to share with your friends or your relatives or whatever. So you can able to have that as a way to get more information. Why diabetes can really affect your brain. And matter of fact, a lot of people don't really realize that. They said, wow, you mean that will have that happen? And that is really true. It really happened. And so you just gotta watch. And I hope that this information help you to early sign to prevent you from really get worse. And I thought that will be really will be nice in that sense that at least you have some prevention, how to handle it, how to recognize it. And basically at the end of the day, you can actually start, taking step ahead of time, rather you get them to be at that stage and do things that will be too late, to be honest. So that's why I want to do this early. Keep that in mind. Hi， 各位堂友，我係 Angela Lowsutea President。好，今日好多人咧，好高興咧，有香港啦，有美國啦，有加拿大啦，好多笪地方不同嘅地方嚟啊！今日咁其實咧，點解我今日要講下，即係上一次嗰兩個 lecture 咧，都講啲人點解唔記得晒啲嘢，因為咧當個糖咧好多糖喺個血管度慢慢脹咧，同埋 block 晒好多血管，所以好多腦嘅細胞就開始死咗啊！咁變咗你細胞話轉壞啦，唔未必死晒啦，咁變咗你嚟講咧，好多時又唔記得嘢啦，又唔知道即係開始 develop 呢個 type 3嘅 diabetes 咧，第三型嘅 diabetes 就係 Alzheimer disease，咁就好慘喎，即係唔記得嘢，仲有好多時咧越整越差嘅時候咧，佢開始懷疑你係咪偷咗啲嘢啊，因為佢唔記得咗啊嘛。咁變咗嚟講咧，我啱啱有個朋友先咁講咩？哇！我個外母咧就成日話我啲工人偷佢嘢，其實就唔係嘅，佢只係自己唔記得咗。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，好多呢啲咁嘅問題咧都會繼續係咁出現。所以咧你要真係開始咧知道咧呢個係一個重要嘅東西咧，要減低啲糖。唔可以令到佢失控，然後咧搞到個腦係咁嘅。咁亦都有好多朋友咧話翻俾佢聽，我個腳開始好乾咯，開始冇乜感覺喎。哇！咁我哋就真係要開始做嘢啦。點解要開始做嘢咧？就係你降低血糖重要性啦，第一降低血糖啦。第二樣嘢更加重要咧，就係點樣按摩嘅腳啊，make sure 個腳係嗰啲 circulation 好啊。咁你能夠將佢嗰啲血液咧更加好嘅循環。OK， 咁今日咧會講更加多咧。就有啲人食咗藥都嗰啲血糖繼續高嘅，咁今日會講多啲東西，所以其實咧係一個係好多嘢係要學嘅，其實呢個真係唔係話咁簡單食嘢咁簡單，要即係做多啲嘢，點解令到你血糖會高 ？So today, this is a really interesting webinar today because a lot of time people don't realize, how come I'm just pre-diabetic, but my feet is not feeling as well anymore and start getting dry. because circulation getting bad, sugar going up, but not necessarily really onto the stage where you are, oh, I'm a diabetic yet. It just, continue to having that. So keep that in mind. When you have that happen, you got to make sure that you really got to continue to make sure that you are continue to lower your blood sugar. Don't let it get worse. Don't let it affect your brain and also affect your peripheral. So today we're going to talk a lot about that and give you some idea why even you take medication, blood sugar is still going up. So we can further discuss and then give you some more tips on basically what diet will be really important for pre-diabetic diabetes. So today is a very good webinar and it's going to take some discussion. All right, today we're going to talk about 10 things that spike your blood sugar for pre-diabetic client. And then what strategy, how to lower your blood sugar just through dieting. Certainly you still got to exercise all that, but even further discuss to better understand. 今日嘅講座咧好特別咧，第一我哋就會講下乜嘢能夠令到你嘅血糖會上高咧。有啲人話食咗藥都繼續高嘅，咁哇好驚奇啊！真係唔知解做錯咩咧咁嚇。咁今日會講多啲，然後咧就仲有咩喺食物方面控制咧，係幫助你咧係減低你血糖嘅。咁今日係講呢樣嘢嘅，咁其實係一個好東西。嗱，咁我俾咗5分鐘嘅時間咧講講，因為今日有好多人係新人嚟嘅，咁我哋要俾時間去追入啊。We have a lot of new customers today to listen to my webinar, so I want to make sure give me 5 minutes. Just got to talk about why we have diabetes. Now, as you know, diabetes is a chronic disease. You don't get well. You could only is control. So that is really very important. And the way how you control got to be make sure that you have dieting and pre-diabetic. Diabetic is the same thing. You have, because don't forget, diabetic will affect entire body blood vessel. Entire body. You didn't hear it wrong. Matter of fact, last night, the customer asked me, is it really affect my entire body? Absolutely is affect your entire body, all the blood vessel from your brain to your heart to your kidney, everything. Okay, so don't forget that's why we suggest that you gotta really do things to make sure help yourself out. On top of that, if you are pre-diabetic, your A1C usually from 5.7 to 6.4. And if you're over 6.1, you are diabetes. So pre-diabetic diabetes is the same thing. You have to start controlling your blood sugar and make sure they go down continuously under 6.4. Then you'll be good, okay? Now, how you do that? You have to have proper dieting. You have to exercise. You have to control weight management. So in other words, on your diet, no more, white food, meaning all the bread, all the rice, eat very, very little, and you have to kind of drink juice, drink no more soda, like Coke, forget it. That is so bad. There are 40 grams of carb, one Coke, okay? So don't drink a lot of Coke. And then you have to, basically, I think if you drink Lowsutea, it would definitely help you to lower your blood sugar, your cholesterol, and there's no caffeine, so you can continue to drink whole day long, just like water, okay? So that's how you do that. The key is got to change your lifestyle. 嗱，各位糖友，糖尿病永遠唔好嘅，你一定要繼續控制咧，先能夠令到你糖尿係唔會變差啦。A1C 要有6.4% 以下啦，然後咧就係你個血糖咧，如果你係高過你已經糖尿病，都係要繼續跌到6.4以下嘅。咁同埋仲有最大問題咧，糖尿病係所有血管都係會俾你影響到，所以一定要全身控制，同埋呢個係一生人嘅永遠嘅病，唔係話今日會遲啲會好翻，冇咁嘅事，永遠都係咁。咁要做 dieting 咧，即係要食物控制啦，要 weight control 啦，即係磅數控制啦，同埋要做 exercise 啦，同埋要度血啦，因為度唔到血你唔知喺邊度嘅。咁同埋咧。就飲去糖茶啦，會幫助你啦，因為佢冇 caffeine， 又可以就咁飲冇就繼續飲咧，會幫助降低血糖膽固醇同埋鹽。So really how diabetes being formed. Now the first thing is very simple. When you are diabetic, first thing that goes up is your LDL cholesterol. Your cholesterol goes up, and then your sugar will also goes up, and both items will affect your B cell of your pancreas. and the B cells are function taking the sugar into the cells. So without B cell, the sugar doesn't go into the cells. So you have a lot of sugar and go on continuously, and the blood sugar goes up. So that is the first thing. The LDL and sugar both damage B cells. Now, so with that, your blood become very thickened. The second stage, what could happen is you're going to start forming plaque. That's why it's affect the entire body. You form the plaque throughout the body. These plaque will actually help you to increase what? Blood pressure. Now, if you don't do anything, continue lifestyle same. The third stage is what? Your blood sugar will start going up. You become pre-diabetic stage, which is mean your A1C with 5.7% all the way down to as high as 6.4. And if you continue the same thing 3 years, you convert to diabetes. And that's why doctors were saying that, man, you know, diabetic is actually worse than actually COVID-19 because this is a lifelong disease. There's so much damage to everybody in lifestyle and in body and damage of organ. So you really have to be really watch and to prevent you get any kind of complication. 嗱，各位堂友，因為好多新嘅朋友翻嚟啦，咁我一定要俾多啲機會咧，係 answer 我啲朋友嘅即係即係了解 diabetes 點做點翻嚟嘅。咁第一個咧就係、原來咧第一個階段咧就係你個 LDL 會升咗上去。嗱，當你 LDL 升咗上去咧，第二點嘅時候咧，佢就會損壞你個 B cell 胰島素嘅 B cell 胰臟啊個 B cell 出嚟嘅。個 B cell 就帶啲糖入去個細胞裏邊嘅。如果冇咗呢個 B cell 咧，咁你糖就唔入去咯。咁你越整越多糖啦。咁糖同埋胰島呢個LDL 兩樣都 damage 個 B cells 嘅。咁所以同埋兩個血液咧加埋晒就嗰啲血液就會好厚啦，會 thicken。咁變咗你講好 thicken 嘅時候咧，就第二個 stage 開始方面咯，全身嘅血管咧都開始硬化啦。放咗啲血塊，即係嗰啲 plaques 啦，即係嗰啲硬塊啦，咁令到咧個血管咩啊開始收縮咗，冇咗咁多地方。咁第二樣嘢咧就係血壓上升啊。咁第三個 stage 咧，你糖嘅經正 low 嘅時候咧，咁你 A1C 咧就由5.7 all the way 6.4。咁呢段時間咧係大概3年到嘅時間。如果你繼續唔做嘢嘅，咁第4年咧 ，sorry 你就變咗糖尿病者。咁呢個係個人都會 go through 個 stage。所以你哋一定要咧，要開始喺第一個 stage 唔好變糖嘅時候控制咗佢，咁變咗嚟講你就唔會有咁多我哋所謂嘅糖尿病嘅併發症啦。So why Lowsutea work? Lowsutea is very simple because there are two things in there. There are guava leaf bits which stop absorption blood sugar into the vessels, and then the bitter melon takes sugar into the cell, act like an insulin. Now, that is really interesting because even though you're taking insulin, you need some kind of booster because a lot of time you have a lot of resistance of insulin. So somehow bitter melon will act like additional insulin booster to get into the cells. On top of that, bitter melon will dump sugar and cholesterol and sodium out through the urine. So your blood sugar will continue to go down. That's why the function of these two products are so wonderful to make this really work. And if 嗱，其實仲有咧，其實好簡單嘅。我呢個產品裏邊咧，去糖就有兩種東西，就係番石榴葉啦，同埋有苦瓜啦。番石榴葉 block 啲糖入去血管裏邊啦。苦瓜有兩個好嘢嘅，第一佢係好似胰島素一樣帶啲糖入去細胞裏；第二佢喺個尿道嗰度咧，就將啲糖、鹽同埋所有嘅膽固醇掉咗出嚟，咁你就可以全部咧有 detox 嘅 function 啦，同埋降低血糖同膽固醇。係咁簡單，所以同埋呢個飲咗之後咧係冇任何副作用。Oh, it's very good. If you do not actually take care of sugar, what could happen? Now, a lot of people don't realize one of the major long-term problems come along will be your risk of heart disease. And when you have heart disease, you got a high chance of heart attack. You're diabetic, nephropathy, your kidneys got fallen down. A lot of people end up to be dialysis. Right now, Hong Kong, the people who dialyze, 70% are diabetes people. On top of that, worse, it will damage your nerve. Now, that is really sad because I've talked about several lectures already previously. When you get older, you block up your brain, you can't remember your husband. Matter of fact, one of my customers is like that. They married for 40 years, suddenly one day, The wife wake up, who are you? The husband, to the husband. The husband was shocked. It's very sad. I married you 40 years, you don't recognize me. Then recognize the student, and just like that. We have been helping her lower her blood sugar real well for the last few months. But what happened is just somehow when your nerve is damaged for so long, it just clicked and it can be damaged and cannot reverse. Now, also you can be a spontaneous stroke. Your eye cannot see, blur, glaucoma. If you get injured, your foot, you're gonna get chopped up your foot. High blood pressure, I mentioned that. And on top of that, 30% of the people are diabetic have no sex life because they can't feel. And certainly if you're pregnant, you have what they call gestation diabetic, can be really potential to be a diabetic customer. So you got to be, all that is the basic item where you potentially will be faced if you're diabetic. Okay? 嗱，各位堂友記住，如果你咩唔做，你變咗糖尿病者咧就弊啦，有呢啲併發症咧，有中風啦，你嘅眼會有青光眼啦，就白內障啊，同埋有好多不同眼嘅疾咧睇唔到啦，你個胰臟咧會失咗功能啦，同埋你出唔到胰島素啦，仲有咧就係你心臟病咧，40%至60% 嘅糖尿病者有心臟病嘅問題發生嘅。咁就係我講好多次書啦 ，nerve damage， 你嘅神經系統損壞，咁你記唔到嘢，變咗 Alzheimer， 或者你係淨記唔到任何嘢，咁你連老公都唔記得埋，哇！40年嘅結婚唔記得老公喎，真係幾慘啊！咁同埋咧血壓好高，咁又可以爆血管啦，咁同埋仲有咧，如果你隻腳整親唔會好咧，就截肢啦。咁依家香港咧70% 嘅洗腎嘅病人咧都係糖尿病病者，咁啊好大喎嚇！咁同埋咧30% 嘅病人係冇性功能嘅。咁同埋如果你係有生育嘅 B 仔媽咪咧，一個好要 watch 啊，因為佢介紹 gestation diabetic， 即係生嘅時候有 diabetes， 後來咧第時就會變可能一個大嘅 diabetes， 所以呢個係要記住咧，要即係小心嘅。咁仲有啦，咁如果你係呢個糖尿病嘅朋友咧，同埋前期患病咧，我哋公司咧就係一個好簡單東西。我哋希望咧，我有5個 program 咧，就幫你係由呢個糖尿前期患病降低血糖，所以你永遠就唔去翻呢個糖尿病嗰度啦。如果你糖尿病者，我哋希望教到你咧，能夠繼續降低血糖，你能夠 A1C 跌到5.7或者6以下啦。咁你變咗一個好普通人，但係你永遠都係叫糖尿患病者，記住啊！咁仲有咧，我哋有5個 program 咧，就有 diet 啦，有諗去糖茶啦，教你點食嘢啦，同埋 exercise 啦，有磅嘅控制啦，聽佢講書啦，同埋點 track the blood 啦，希望全部做晒之後咧，你會有一個好健康嘅血糖水平。Our company is very simple. We are here to basically help you to get you to be a better, basically what we're trying to do here is help you to provide you with 5 programs. If you are pre-diabetic, we'll actually let you to continue to learn how to lower your blood sugar. You are not going to over 614. So you will continue to be healthy blood sugar level. And then if you are diabetic already, we'll help you lower it to also from whatever level up down to 6. And that's become important. And then 5 programs teach you about dieting, blood sugar dieting, what kind of carbs, low carbs diet, low fat diet, all the strategy give it to you. Plus you have to exercise. We also give you a weight control program to help you to learn about weight control, and then how to monitor your blood tracking, allow you to continue to monitor your blood as you progress, because the sad part of diabetes, you have to monitor your blood in order to know where you're at. You can't just say, well, what is my blood sugar? I don't know. And you really don't know, are you good or bad? So every day you have to measure your blood sugar, basically. So anyway, this is a program, 5 programs to teach you how to do that. And it's very effective, and it's so important to follow through this program, okay? And that's why today is one of the things is about diet control. How do you better diet? So today, we're going to talk about the 10 reasons why your blood sugar goes up for pre-diabetic diabetes, and then what diet strategy to help you to lower that blood sugar. And that's why today is a very good seminar. Although it's going to be a little long, but it's okay. It's because you're going to learn a lot, the basic fact, okay? 今日我講咗咧就好簡單，係教你哋點去能夠降低你嘅血糖，同埋咧幫助你，尤其前期或者後就糖尿病病者，你有時就算食藥同埋打針，你血糖繼續高喎，咁點樣控制咧？我有做錯咗嘢咧？咁其實今日會講下點樣幫助你，呢樣嘢係好重要嘅，同埋食物上點能夠幫助佢更加降低血糖。OK？ Now, many people actually I hit with many questions from my present client, they're pre-diabetic or diabetic client. And they say, hey, I've been really trying my best to do proper dieting. I don't eat rice anymore. I've been exercising, I've been working, and I've been taking my medication. Many of them take metformin, and some even do the insulin rejection. But their blood sugar is still high. What I mean high, they're still going for 8, 9, 10 in the A1C. So they keep asking, what I did wrong? And the doctor said, hey, you better go down, better control your blood sugar. Because if not, your type 2 complication is going to get worse. The worst thing is the doctor is what? Well, you know what? Your metformin doesn't work. Now you're taking 500 milligrams, you're going to get 1,000 milligrams. It doesn't work, you're going to take 1,500 milligrams. It doesn't work, it takes 2,000 milligrams. They just keep adding medication. So the patient becomes say, wow, this is really sad. I don't want to take that many medication. So really at the end of the day, it's not just only diet. And I'll give you some of the insight why your blood sugar goes up. You might want to also control that part. That will help. Certainly, I also found drinking Lowsutea become even very important because it's like a booster beyond medication to help them. And it is something that is non-contradicted to medicine, but something they really need to help this booster to help them to lower the blood sugar. So it's something that you guys can consider to try it out with that and you see your effect. And matter of fact, all the patients that so far I work with, they are very happy with that. So try it. So let's go understand why your blood sugar goes up, even you're taking a medication, you're dieting, and so forth. 嗱，好多糖友咧，記住咧，佢話：喂，我好似怪怪地喎，點解咧？嗱，我聽醫生講食藥啦，我又有同佢講咗咧，即係我繼續係有 dieting 啦。咁但係咧，我啲糖繼續高喎，我咩個高啊？佢仍然都係8、9嗰啲咁嘅高啊 percent A1C 啊。咁醫生就話：喂，你個糖都係高喎，咁我繼續加藥俾你啊。咁佢繼續加藥，雞metformin咧加500 milligram 而家1000個 milligram，1000個1500至2000，整間就話唔得喎，你要打針喎。其實咧，我哋繼續講落去嘅時候咧，我翻out咧，原來佢哋第一，如果佢飲咗去糖茶係有幫助嘅，如果唔飲去糖真係冇幫助。就算佢食得 exercise 同埋現在好多嘢咧，都係加埋晒啲嘢咧，係會影響血糖咧，唔淨止食藥。但係醫生嘅東西只係俾藥你食，咁所以變咗嚟講咧，今日你學嘅嘢咧，就希望咧能夠俾多啲 tips 你，能夠知道仲有乜嘢能夠令到你會糖高咧。咁呢個係一個好重要嘅東西啊。Okay, the thing is this. A lot of people said, hey, I'm diabetes. So all the coffee I have equal artificial sweetener to give me lower my blood sugar. Now, however, in long run, this is not a good stuff to have because in long run, actually will increase your blood sugar going up high. The reason is one, in the 2020 study found that artificial sweetener in your diet, like Equal, all the different brands will basically, if you put Equal in your coffee and so forth, yes, it is give you the sweetness satisfaction, but in long run, increase your blood sugar because what it does is increase your insulin resistance. So it will keep your blood sugar slowly moving up, going higher. So artificial sweetener is not a good thing for you to have. You should have natural sweetener, not artificial. Like agave can be a good one because they're natural plant sweetener, although it's a low glycemic index. So you should actually, want sweetener, use that, but small quantity, because agave, the carbs are still there, but it's a smaller carb. So you gotta want to do that instead of putting an equal package in there. That is not really good. So put agave if you can, or some other sweetener. Monk fruit is another one, natural sugar, natural sweetener. Small quantity, they're sweeter, but they're small quantity. So you got to use that, okay? 嗱，各位堂友，千祈唔好話，喂，我而家做個 equal 啊，或者 saccharin 啊嗰啲咁嘅即係呢啲人造嘅甜劑啦，放喺咖啡啊或者飲食嘢裏邊。個原因咧，呢個咧係會有個好大問題出現嘅。短暫冇嘅，長期會有，因為長期咧。嗰樣好特別咧，令到你個糖咧會繼續高，因為點解啊？佢令到你個身體個 insulin， 你個胰島素會有一個抗拒個 insulin resistance 抗拒，咁嗰啲糖咧就整下咧就唔會即係識佢上嚟啦，咁變咗嚟即係唔會用到你個胰島素啦，咁你糖咪繼續高啦，咁所以變咗嚟講，你要好小心咧 ，make sure 咧。呢樣嘢咧，你一定要有你嘅唔好用呢啲 equals 啊、saccharides 啊嗰啲咁嘅即係代糖啦。OK， so very important. Do not actually use this artificial sugar. Now, certainly in the solution you say I want to drink sweet thing, I want to drink. Certainly agave is good, and also not to drink soda water. You can actually drink what? Lowsutea as a substitute. Now, people say, hey, I like to like soda. So you can put gas, natural gas, water mixed with the Lowsutea. You can still get gas, no sweetness, and you can still get your bubble taste. So that will help you hot and cold, it still can do. So really better to have this natural diet is actually better than you now adding the artificial sugar. Eventually, you will help cause you to have, a lot of so-called insulin resistance. That is a major problem. Plus, your brain will tell you, hey, I need sugar. So you might actually go for more sugar craving. That will be another issue that come along. 所以其實咧，用代糖咧未必好，有胰島素嘅抗拒啦。第二咧，又令到腦話哇需要糖喎，咁你可能你要食多啲，猛諗住食糖甜嘢。咁同埋第二樣嘢咧，你飲去糖茶咧都可以飲凍飲嘅。如果你想愛啲去汽水方面咧，因為你而家唔飲汽水啦嘛，咁你可以加啲泡即係soda， 即係冇糖嘅 soda water 去 mix 咗佢咧，都係做得同樣好似係飲汽水個方案嘅。Okay. Secondly, really, your sugar will goes up. Another one is actually a high saturated food item. Potential also increase your insulin resistance. What is that high saturated food? For example, your fat hamburger from McDonald's. That is a high saturated food. And that will actually increase your insulin resistance. So really at the end of the day, forget about going to McDonald's all the time eating a lot of thick hamburger with a lot of cheese. Because as a type 2 diabetic, you really want to lower your carbs. And on top of that, you have to lower your what? Saturated fat. You really need to have low fat, low saturated fat diet. Or matter of fact, if you don't have that, because the major issue is affect your your insulin resistance, increase the insulin resistance. So fat hamburger, forget that. And on top of that, you can lower your red meat, like a lot of fat red meat, especially French fries, baked food. All those things will be continue having saturated fat is not good for you. So the solution for that is you got to eat nuts. basically, you know, like almond nuts, something like that. Almond nuts I carry all the time for my lunch. You can eat avocado, you eat salmon, and then you can basically eat more of a natural food, and that will be healthier. And so imagine also when you have a lot of fat, is also convert this fat, 20 to 30% of fat will convert to calories. So if you do a lot of fat food, it's actually bad for health and also increase your weight. So those are all bad stuff for you. So keep that in mind. Saturated fat increase your insulin resistance. That is not good. 各位朋友，好重要咧，其實真係咧，我哋要唔可以食好多即係嘅高飽和脂肪嘅食物，因為呢啲咧係會令到你胰島素抗拒嘅。咁胰島素抗拒即係唔 work 啦，胰島素咁你咪糖繼續高咯。所以變咗你話去麥當勞食 hamburger 咧，未必好事。有時好多 cheese 啊，好肥啊東西。咁有時咧，仲有咧，每日你可以食好多紅肉啊，好肥嘅紅肉啊，食好多 French fry 啊、薯條啊，咁嗰啲嘢咧又係唔好嘅。變咗嚟講咧，因為呢啲全部有好多脂肪喺度，令到佢又係胰島素抗拒。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，你係要需要咩咧？仲要做一樣嘢咧，就係需要咧你一個好啲嘅 health food 嘅 diet 啦，食多呢啲果仁啦，係 almond 啦、杏仁啦，或者 avocado 啦，食呢個三文魚啦。或者食多啲natural 啲嘅食物，冇脂肪嘅，好高脂肪嘅，咁就更加好啦。OK， 因為如果你20至30% 嘅脂肪咧，呢嘢全部 convert 咗咩啊？係咗個卡路里啊，咁你又會肥胖啦，又會對心臟病唔好啦，所以呢啲嘢全部希望咧就可以戒啦。唔該晒。Now, another problem we have is a lot of people don't realize. Now, we have two items already talked about increase your insulin resistance, right? On top of that is you spike your breakfast. If you skip your breakfast all day long, your body will say, hey, I need food, you know, I don't have enough sugar. And it does actually affect your insulin B cells, which is basically take sugar into the cells, right? So your body will come up with more because they would say, hey, I need sugar. I need it because I know my sugar. So you know what's going to happen? Your body said, well, I need to eat more. I need to eat more because I have not enough sugar, right? So in the next meal, basically, you will end up, you eat much more. And then as a result, your blood sugar will go up higher. So skipping breakfast is not a good thing to do. So also another thing too is a lot of people say, hey, you know what? I don't want to eat breakfast. I just drink a big glass of orange juice. Well, that's even worse because there's a lot of calories and could be a lot of sugar also, but that's not being good for you. So importantly is really at the end of the day, eat even an egg is better than eat no breakfast at all, because when you have eggs, you basically at least you have substance, you satisfy your sugar need, ready for your day. So if you are busy, I have no time to eat breakfast, eat an egg, okay? So that will do. And certainly, you know, you can add tomato in it, you can eat mushroom in it or spinach. That would be also very good for a balanced diet. Don't skip the breakfast, because breakfast, it is an important meal for you. 嗱，各位朋友，唔好諗住話我血糖高啊，唔好食早餐得唔得啊？唔食早餐其實就唔好嘅，因為個 body 咧個身體就話：喂，我要去糖喎，要糖喎。咁其實咧你冇早餐冇啲糖咧，你可以食多啲嘅下一餐啊。咁變咗食多啲嘅時候，你糖幾高？有啲人就話：喂，我唔好試下飲杯大嘅橙汁啦。咁其實仲加啫，橙汁好多糖噶嘛。咁呢樣嘢都係對你唔好嘅。咁其實仲要點咧？就係你需要咧一啲好嘅即係糖尿病嘅食品咩咧？或者你早餐如果真係好冇事，係食隻烚熟雞蛋都 OK 嘅，因為烚熟雞蛋有 protein 啦，亦都有佢嘅本身嘅營養素喺裏邊啦，咁就可以 satisfy 你嘅糖嘅。咁所以如果你係真係冇時間咧，唔緊要，唔好即係食啲雜物，食隻雞蛋或者如果你係更加有時間食啲 番茄啊、mushroom 啊加埋落個早餐度，咁啊可以能夠咧減低你血糖嘅個 carbs 碳水化合物，但係亦都係能夠令到你個身體話俾你啊，我夠營養啦，夠糖去打仗啦 ，OK？ And another thing too, a lot of people, ladies, don't realize when your menstrual change, when you're doing a menstruation, you're gonna have all kind of change in your body, and your hormonal will also change, and that will actually affect your blood sugar. Now, so net result of that, then, because the menstrual change, you tend to have mood change, you tend to be more cranky, you tend to be more really craving for more food, in a sense, I will eat snack because you're cranky. So you're really during the time of your menstrual change. So before you get that, what you can do is you can actually get better snack for you preparation. Like, for example, instead of getting cookies all around, put celeries all around, so you can able to help you to, in case you really need to eat snack, you are prepared not to get quite a bit cookies inside there, so you will not increase your blood sugars. So importantly, you really need to understand that your menstruation coming, you'll be cranky, you're gonna have mood swing, and you need to eat get some of those healthy snack prepared for you rich. Instead of just get some cookies around you and you go screw up your blood sugar. 嗱，各位堂友，因為我知道每個人咧，即係女士啦，尤其是啦，咁有月經嚟嘅時候咧，有可能咧會 affect 咗你個人嘅個情緒啦。咁你情緒低落嘅時候，好多時你做咩啊？食嘢啦，咁你要食 cookies 啊，或者啲啦。咁變咗嚟講咧，嗰陣時咧弊家伙啦，你食好多 cookies，變個血糖高啦。咁最好呢個時間嘅時候咧。最好嘅咧，你就可能夠或者準備啲其他嘅健康嘅食品啦。For example 咧茶西芹咧切一條條嘅，咁可以照下咧就幫助你唔會揾幾嚿餅乾嚟食啦。cookies 咧又甜又整高你糖係咪？咁所以變咗嚟講咧，我哋幫助你咧係降低血糖。嗱，當然啦，如果你已經真係好犀利嘅，刺到好勁嘅。同埋亦都affect mood咧，咁你揾醫生咧幫助睇咩藥去幫你食啦。Now, another one that really a lot of people don't realize, if you don't move, you become a couch potato. It is actually become, especially pre-diabetic, diabetic patient, is the same thing. If you don't move, don't exercise, your weight will go up. You're going to have, actually, since you don't move around, you have high risk of stroke, and then your blood pressure is also affected and affect your heart. So really important, you have to have physical activities to increase insulin sensitivities. If you don't do that, I'm sorry, you stay around and keep adding weight is not going to work. So the solution for that, you got to have moving around and exercise in order to achieve lower blood sugar. And certainly, even you take medication, you don't exercise. You take insulin, you don't exercise. Same thing, your sugar will go up because your body doesn't use up the sugar. So exercise becomes very, very important to you to lower your blood sugar. 嗱，各位同學，如果你唔去運動咧，就未必達到你需要降低血糖。前期患病同埋糖尿病都係一樣。如果你繼續坐喺度睇電視嘅，晚晚都係我唔做嘢睇電視嘅，咁就弊家伙啦。你咧會係繼續咧係你嘅糖咧會繼續升上去，同埋咧你個磅數咧繼續會大高上去。咁同埋咧仲有咧，你有機會咧就會有呢個咩啊？有 stroke 啦，即係呢個所謂叫做中風啦，同埋咧你血壓會高啦，同埋咧心臟病有問題啦。呢啲嘢全部係可以幫助咗你。如果你有運動咧，係幫助你胰島素咧個敏感性提高咗嘅。咁你變咗就提高咗，之後你就更加 OK 啦。因為你用你嘅 exercise 咧係減低咗你血糖，所以呢個 exercise 係好緊要嘅。嗱，如果你繼續食藥用 insulin 唔 exercise， 你血糖都係會繼續高嘅。OK， 所以 exercise 係幫助一個好大幫助。So exercise is important to lower your blood sugar. Now, one more thing a lot of people don't realize, stress is the same thing. When you have stress, your blood sugar goes up. Now, let me share with you some of the actual even personal experience. When I start realizing my work, I have a lot of workload, I have to generate a lecture, I stress out. You know what? At nighttime, my blood sugar go up because of the fact that I keep thinking my lecture the next day. And then net result, my blood sugar will go to like 7 and so forth. So at the end of the day, you know what? I drink Lowsutea. So what happened is after drinking Lowsutea just 1 hour before I sleep, my blood sugar came back down to 614, which is like 120, okay? Or 120 for American system. So I found that is so important. You have to relax, drink Lowsutea 1 hour before you sleep. So whole night, your blood sugar will be low at like 120 or 614 or 612. If I don't drink Lowsutea, you know what? My blood sugar was go up to like 7 point something. Wow, that was whole night was that high. So it's not that high, but at least it's there. So I found that I have the issue. So if you have stress at work, you have crisis, your blood sugar also go up. Because what happened is when your blood sugar go up, you're stressed, your hormone called cortisol, which is ready to give you a fight, will basically tell you, hey, you're ready to go to war. So they make the whole body to create sugar for you to help you to prepare for the work. Especially if you have family issue, money issue, whatever issue you have. That stress will help you to move up that blood sugars because they have cortisol to prepare for your fight, war, okay? And your body will continue to generate sugar. Now, the problem is when you stress, one more item that you might not know, you know what? You start eating. When you stress, you want to say, hey, I have a lot of stress. I want to, take care of this stress. And people will smoke or they will eat cookies and put it in the mouth. And that increase what? Blood sugar. So you eat more food intake, okay? So if you really stress, I would suggest maybe walk around for 10 minutes and come back to work. That might be work. Or you really stress at home, go outside, walk a little bit, see the fresh air, breathing. Maybe that's also hard work. And also maybe we can go deep breathing exercise. Take some deep breathing exercise and do 6 times every day, maybe about 6-7 times do that, because when you deep breathing exercise, it relaxes you. So the solution is walk out the situation for 10 to 15 minutes, come back. You will really become a total refresh your brain. Or you do deep breathing exercise also will help you to decrease that stress. Matter of fact, yesterday, a very high executive was also shared with me. He said, hey, Andrew, my work is very stressful. He's a high executive. And, with that, when he really has so stressed, he exactly what I do, suggested. He walk around 10 to 15 minutes, come back. He said his whole thinking and all the stress he has is substantial decrease. He is think better, he feel better, and he can do his work better. So important, stress increase your blood sugar. Remember that, okay? 嗱，各位堂友記住，如果你係會好多壓力嘅咧，你個糖一定會高 up 嘅。點解咧？因為我哋身體裏邊咧有個叫 cortisol 嘅荷爾蒙咧，係幫助你嘅身體話俾你，喂，你就係要打仗咯，俾糖你，咁你身體就出好多糖出嚟咧，準備打仗。咁當你準備打仗嘅時候咧，你糖一定會上高啦。咁仲有一樣嘢好弊咧，就當你糖降高，即係你 stress 嘅人，仲有一樣啊，我會食多啲嘢。你梗係要食嘢，咁好多時食嘢嘅時候咧，咁啲糖就咩啊？高濕啦，咁啊兩方面都高濕咯，身體出糖出嚟，你又食嘢加糖，你又上去，咁啊變咗唔係咁正係咪？咁所以變咗嚟講咧，我哋就有一樣嘢咧，希望你做到一個有好嘅 solution， 就幫助你點啊？出去行10至15分鐘。如果你工作上係好忙嘅話，唔緊要，出去行15分鐘，或者10分鐘，或者5分鐘好嘅，離開現場，咁你個 stress 咧就開始降低，咁糖亦都會繼續降低。 或者另外一個就做深呼吸，做6次，一係做5-6次都 OK 嘅。咁深呼吸裏邊咧，亦都能夠令到你咧係可以降低你壓力。咁呢幾樣嘢咧，都係能夠幫助到你咧，全部嘅啦。咁你喺屋企，如果你話我係要行路嘅，我係要行路啦，去做運動啦，或者購物啦，或者去唱下歌啦，都 OK 嘅。或者睇電視啊、聽音樂啊，同埋咧有陣時咧同朋友傾下偈，呢幾樣嘢都係可以降低壓力嘅。OK， 記住。So really important is at the end of the day, you can go walk, you can go to walking center, shopping mall. You've already gone home. You can do the exercise. You can sing, karaoke, or you can watch TV, listen to music. And very important, a lot of people forgot, you can talk to friends and relatives to socialize. Because when you talk to friends and relatives to socialize, can help you to relieve all the problem, the stress. So talking to friends and relatives is very important. Now, certainly one of the things that a lot of people now, they say, I do meditation, it helps. So that is another choice, meditation, okay? Now, as you know, a lot of times people don't realize they have infection is also increase the blood sugar. Now, infection is like, for example, especially a diabetic, infection is an inflammatory response, which your blood sugar will definitely goes up to accommodate the infections. Is a fight response. So especially skin infection, the body will start forming, you're going to get pus. The blood sugar will really go up real fast because they want to make sure that you have enough sugar to make your fight, okay? So you might want to make sure that take care of infection fast, treat it. If not, your infection are red and bright red, your infection keep it go up, you might really get more and more blood sugar. On top of that, a lot of people have flu nowadays. They'll get cough syrup and they have all kinds of flu medicine. And many of this cough syrup is actually are made of heavy sugar because they want to make you taste good. So make sure you take and buy sugar-free cough syrup. So net result, you don't put additional sugar for your flu, which is already increase your blood sugar, and you put the cough syrup, if further increase blood sugar, that's no good. So make sure that you can prevent that. 嗱，各位朋友，如果你發炎，尤其是有紅腫嘅發炎咧，你血糖肯定會高，因為成身咧我發炎咯，我準備打仗咯，咁啊身體咧自然整啲糖出嚟咧，準備打仗，咁你血糖就會漲高嘅。咁所以盡快咧就要將你個發炎咧係控制到啦。如果唔係咧，你血糖一路整越高咧，係會令到身體越整越禍嘅。第二樣嘢，如果你係有 flu 啦，即係好似感冒啊，咁你揾啲更加係好甜嘅咳藥水咧，弊家伙啦，咪增加血糖啦。因為好多咳藥水係好甜嘅，所以買咳藥水嗰時候一定買啲咳藥水係無糖咳藥水啊，咁你係有得賣嘅。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，你要好糖高嘅時候咧，你要注意啲嘢啊。仲有一樣嘢，好多時咧，如果你真係好嚴重糖尿病者咧，你仲有呢一樣要注意嘅，就係要個 Ketone Urine 啊，即係 make sure 你唔係太高嘅咧。咁你買啲Ketone Urine 嘅紙咧 ，check 下你係咪血糖過高有 Ketone 喺裏邊。咁如果 Ketone 咧，你就要即係快睇醫生。如果 Ketone 真係好犀利咧，你入醫院嘅。OK， 記住呢樣嘢啊。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，真係要開始糖即係發炎要注重嘅。OK。So one more thing that you have to understand, if you are your blood sugar keep too high, you might want to measure your blood sugar on your urine. Through urine is your ketone is really high, because what happened is a lot of time your body start burning fat to convert sugar. So net result become your blood become acidotic. So that is a dangerous sign. If your ketone urine, basically you need to see doctor very quick. If not, you might want to see doctor. If you don't get doctor attention, you might want to go hospital to get attention. Okay. Now, one more thing is a lot of time we have take a lot of supplement, medication. But you know, a lot of supplement might also increase your blood sugar because I noticed some vitamins are sugar coated. Are you kidding me? Wow. I saw that. I said, whoa, you know, this vitamin is sugar coated because people nowadays take a lot of vitamins. And a vitamin are actually sugar coated and is actually can be increase your blood sugar. So net result of that, you might want to take vitamin, no sugar coated vitamin. Also, a lot of other medication like aspirin medication, antidepressant medication, birth control pill, and some of the blood pressure medication might be also sugar coated. So you gotta tell your doctor, hey doctor, I'm diabetic, my friend. So don't give me medication that's sugar coated. So you might adapt them. So that way you won't get sucked in to take medication which is sugar coated, and you know what, your blood sugar goes up. 各位朋友，因為好多時咧，我哋嘅維他命咧係有好多糖嘅維他命嘅。咁你好多糖嘅維他命弊家伙啦，你加糖落去又食維他命咪更加高啦。所以變咗咧，你要好小心呢樣嘢。尤其是咧，如果你去見醫生咧，千祈話俾醫生聽，我係糖尿病者。佢俾啲藥你，譬如好似呢個係哮喘藥啊，呢啲避孕丸嘅藥啊。同埋咧 depression 嘅藥啊，呢啲藥咧好多係有高血，即係有糖嘅成分喺裏邊，因為佢令到你咧係可以變咗你唔會即係佢容易入口啊。咁所以變咗嚟講，呢個咧就話俾醫生咧唔好俾啲藥有糖嘅。So important to tell the doctor I'm a diabetic, don't give me medication or supplement with sugar coated. Now, one of people don't always remember is if you are not enough sleep, your cortisol hormone is going to go up also. And it will help you to actually get insulin resistance, get your fat to increase more sugar out to you. You're more stressed. So sleeping is extremely important to lower blood sugar. I found myself also, if I have 5 hours sleep, my blood sugar go up as much as 7 or 8 sometimes. So I have to drink a lot of Lowsutea along the way to lower it down. If not, it's just going up. Okay, so very important. You got to have enough sleep. If not, it will spike your blood sugar. And what is called enough sleep? 7 to 8 hours is a good sleep hours. If I have 4 hours, I got screwed up. I now need 7 to 8 hours sleep. So make sure that you have that enough sleep so we don't spike your blood sugar. Okay. 嗱，各位朋友。好多人唔記得咗，如果唔夠瞓咧，你糖會高嘅，因為唔夠瞓咧，你會咩啊？個 cortisol 又夠高啦，咁同埋咧仲有cortisol increase 你嘅 insulin resistance， 你糖又高啦，同埋你會喺個身體度做多啲糖出嚟，準備打仗啦，咁你變咗好多喺 muscle 又出嚟啊 ，fat 又出嚟啊，咁呢啲全部唔正嘅。咁每日你要瞓幾多糖啊？要瞓幾多個鐘頭啊？我哋60至65歲以上嘅人士咧，一定要瞓7至8個鐘頭，唔好瞓4個鐘頭，唔夠嘅7至8個鐘頭。OK， 咁變咗嚟講咧，就幫助你降低血糖係好重要嘅。OK， now a lot of people don't also forget dental health is very important. If you have gum infection, you know what? Your blood sugar will definitely go up. So very important. You have to always look at gums. Make sure your dental care, brush your teeth. A lot of LD now forgot about brushing teeth. That's not good. You have to gargle, brush teeth to continue to improve your gum health. Then that way your body don't get infected, and that way you can brush your teeth twice a day, morning time, and after before you go to sleep, make sure all the junk are cut out. You have to dental floss, and also see a dentist at least every 6 months to check your teeth. So you let your dentist know you are diabetic, so they will make sure take care, make sure you don't get gum infection. 好多糖友唔知道咧，原來咧我係個口腔發炎咧，係令到你咧會有糖尿高 up 嘅，因為呢個金呢個口腔發炎咧會令到血糖一定要高嘅，所以其實咧每日一定要刷2次牙啦以上啊，要牙線啦。要同你睇個牙醫生咧，每6個月睇1次啦，咁令到你個牙咧保持健康，因為呢樣嘢好多人都 miss 咗嘅。咁同埋仲有一樣咧，你話俾個 dentist 即係牙醫聽，我係糖尿患病者，咁佢咧就知道點處理你㗎。So With that, I also want to add some more thing to you to learn a little bit more about lower your blood sugar through dieting. Now, I mentioned many times, pre-diabetic, diabetic is the same thing. You gotta have good, healthy diet. And what that means, you have to take low glycemic index food to watch your carbs, okay? Carbs is the key, okay? So your high glycemic food will basically increase your blood sugar real fast. And low glycemic food is basically do not spike your blood sugar. It continues to slowly go up, so your blood sugar goes up, does not goes up that fast. And that's what you want to do. Second, you want to take high fiber food with low on GI. So in other words, the high fiber food will have low glycemic index. Also, high fiber food with a low glycemic index. Now, do not take a lot of food refined carbohydrate, like for example, white bread, white rice, soda, all those are refined carbohydrates. That's no good because these are the food that is actually screw up your blood sugar. You need to take brown rice, which is like whole wheat. All those are low glycemic index food. So basically, you can think about Mediterranean diet. These are the products that will help you to maintain good blood sugar because they're low glycemic index. And later on, I'll give you a chart. You can take a picture of what is called low glycemic index, okay? 嗱，糖友好緊要，因為咧我哋食嘢前期患病同糖友都係一式一樣，我哋要食一啲嘢係叫做 low glycemic index 嘅低糖指數嘅食物。咁咩叫低糖指數食物啊？就係 for example 啦，你係要食啲嘢咧，個糖會嘭一聲升咗上去嘅，係低糖指數係慢慢升上去嘅，高糖指數係嘭一聲升咗上去嘅。咁如果你係好多纖維食物咧，都係全部係低糖指數食物嚟嘅。咁同埋咧，仲有如果你食好多白飯啊、白麵包啊，全部呢啲咁嘅大部分嘅所謂叫做精製嘅做過嘅碳酸化合物咧嘅食物咧，好似梳打餅啊呢啲咧，咁呢個就係高低呢個高嘅糖指數食物嚟嘅。咁如果呢個高升糖指數食物咧，就唔好成日即係好似白飯啦、白麵包呢啲啦。咁你食咩啊？要食糙米啦，同埋要全麥麵包咧，就低糖指數嘅。So I'm going to give you a picture right here in next two slides. Make sure to take a time, take a picture, okay? Because that will give you a good glycemic index. Okay. But before I move to that, I will give you the reason why you have to eat a lot of rich fiber foods. The reason is fiber foods, it lasts longer in the stomach, you feel fuller, you feel bulk, you help you on the bowel movement. It actually, the fiber food have less, you will less overweight because you will feel bigger bulk, so you feel full much easier. It'll give you a boost of energy. And it's high fiber food is whole grain like cereal, whole grain bread. All these, if you eat fruits like a pear, you eat the skin too. So eatable skin, fruits, all those are high fiber food. It will help you tremendously on your gut health, your diabetic health. This is wonderful stuff. So keep eating more high, rich fiber food. Okay. 嗱，各位同學。高纖維食物咧係好重要嘅，第一要幫你長遠啲，唔會肚餓啦。第二，因為佢係高纖維咧，佢令到你嘅大便咧容易舒暢。第三咧，仲有咧，你食好多呢啲咁嘅嘢咧，其實你食少啲嘅，因為佢容易飽啊。咁同埋仲有咧，你幫助你咧，俾好多咩能力你啦，同埋 energy 你嘅能量啦，同埋咧仲有咧，如果你食呢個 high fiber 即係高纖維食物咧，好似麥同埋全麥麵包啊，就要水果咧，好似蘋果啊或者個啤梨啊，連皮一齊食咧，呢啲係好嘢嚟嘅，幫助你咧係糖會高，但係亦都令到一個好舒服嘅生活。Okay, I will take a Chinese first. I'll give you English afterwards. So do take a picture now. I'll give you just a couple seconds to take a picture, and then you can see what is low and high. This is medium index. and that's high GI index. You notice white bread, no good. All these things are no good. But, you know, you get a pear, apple, all these are low, and blueberry, all these are low index. You should drink that. So I'm going to now switch to the English one. Now you can see blueberry, apple, pear, all these are low glycemic index. So eat this. But high glycemic index is white bread, rice. All these are not good for diabetic to eat. And for Chinese, they even eat like char siu bao or the buns, steamed bun. Oh, that's terrible. This is really bad. So don't try to eat that. And then, basically, stick onto this part: lean pork, wheat bread, oats. So basically, this is the food you are continuing to eat. The reason high glycemic index, as I mentioned, they check up your blood sugar real high. Boom. Low glycemic index, it go up slowly after 1 hour and it goes down. It doesn't check up real fast. So, matter of fact, with that, you know, basically, if you can able to do plate planning, eat a lot more vegetable, and basically half is vegetable, 1/4 is your protein, and then 1/4 is your carbs. That will be very good. So basically, just give you an idea. Take this picture because that will be a good guide for you. What is low glycemic index? What is high glycemic index? And what is medium glycemic index? Okay. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we have to portion plan our plate, and basically you have to have non-starch vegetable, 1 whole plate. Half of that are all that. So I mean, practically this is really work. Lower my blood sugar, lower my weight, and then the protein fish is 1/4 only, and carbs in the other quarter. Oh shoot, there's spelling here. It's 1/4, not half. This is a spelling mistake. 1/4 protein, 1/4 carbs. That's a typo here. 1/4 protein, 1/4 carbs, and half non-starch with vegetable. So sorry about the typo. The food may be only 20 gram carb, but basically give you about 150 calories per serving. So keep that in mind. 40 gram carbs, usually about 300 calories. And each day, you should take about 1,800 calories, okay? And then when you can't really eliminate all your carbs together because you need calories. You can't do that, okay? So basically, you're going to continue really plan your carbs and plan your diet, protein, and so on. So sorry about the typo here. 記住，我哋一半咧係 non-starch 嘅 starchy 嘅菜蔬。第二樣嘢就 protein 咧係要1/4，唔係half 1/4 protein。一半係 carbs，OK？ 咁同埋咧，你個 food 咧係如果你食物咧，如果你有20 gram carb 咧，150個 gram 個卡路里咧就係1個 serving 嘅。咁2個 serving 即係晏晝晚餐咧就變咗300卡路里嘅。咁你每日咧最緊要食1600至1800個卡路里嘅。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，你大概有200個 gram carb 就差唔多噶啦。OK， so keep that in mind. Your carbs, 40-50% of the carb is putting to 60% of your calories. So this is important. You have to have carbs in order to get calories. You can't eliminate all the carbs. Okay, keep that in mind. 你係需要咧有碳水化合物先能夠卡路里嘅，冇咗佢咧你冇卡路里就唔掂噶啦。OK， 所以記住呢樣嘢。So portion control is important. Okay. Now, again, no sugar drink because unfortunately people continue to drink a lot of Coke or Diet Coke. So you drink 1 can of Diet Coke, you have 40 grams of carb. Lowsutea have no carb, no caffeine. You can drink Lowsutea whole day long as water. It helps you to lower your blood sugar and also lower your cholesterol as continue to drink. There's no carbs in there, okay? So it's wonderful for you. 嗱，唔好飲任何嘅即係汽水甜嘅嘢啦。你飲個Coke，因為Coke有40 gram 嘅碳水化合物係好勁嘅，140個卡路里喎。 好犀利。所以變咗嚟講咧，最好咧就唔好飲可樂嗌產品，飲去糖茶咧幫助你咧係可能夠降低你個碳水化合物 ，OK？ 唔係，其實唔係 ，sorry， 喺飲咗去糖茶係冇碳水化合物，亦都係降低血糖。佢係裏邊係冇碳水化合物，係可能降低血糖去糖茶，所以繼續飲去糖茶。So alcohol is another issue because you drink a lot of cocktail, high sugar, and if you have a glass of wine, it's okay, but you still have carbs in there because wine, you do have carbs because they're made by grapes, okay? So you should drink little alcohol. If you say, I want a glass of wine, that's fine. 5 fluid ounces, no problem, during dinner time. But don't do it before you go sleep because that will affect your nighttime blood sugar. That's not good. So keep that in mind. Don't drink your alcohol at nighttime. Do it during dinner time. 嗱，酒咧就真係唔好飲啦，因為好多 cocktail 咧有好多糖嘅，咁就令到你糖好高，唔正。咁同埋咧，如果你話我飲杯酒嘅冇問題，係飲5盎司啦，或者150 ml 嘅紅酒咧，食飯嗰陣時飲，就唔好話晚黑臨瞓前飲啦。Your meat has to be lean, and the meat need is also meat and no carb, but it has saturated fat. So you gotta have really cut out the fat, and you have to make sure that don't eat a lot of fatty meat because that increases your cholesterol. You gotta get low saturated fat or low trans fat meat. All these items like chicken without skin. You eat egg white, you eat tofu. You have to eat fish with cod, tuna, halibut, trout, salmon, lean beef, frank steak, tenderloin. You eat shellfish, crab, lobster, that's okay. Turkey without skin is perfect. So these are the items will be lean meat will help you. 嗱，記住肉裏邊咧係冇碳水化合物嘅，亦都唔可以食肥嘅肉，因為咧肥嘅肉咧增加咗你咩 cholesterol 你嘅膽固醇啊。咁同埋咧要 diet 裏邊咧要係愛啲低嘅反脂肪嘅食物啦。咁咩係呢啲啊？雞冇皮啦，食蛋啦，淨係蛋白啦，食豆腐啦，魚咧就食 tuna 魚啦 ，halibut 啦，trout 啦，即係食呢啲咁嘅魚咧，就會係有多好嘅protein 啦，但係就少肥嘅。肉咧要牛肉都要好 lean 嘅牛肉啦，可以食 shellfish， 即係好似蟹啊 lobster OK 嘅，蝦 OK 嘅。Turkey 就唔係 skin 嘅，呢啲全部 OK 嘅，咁你變咗咧，你 carb 一定降低嘅。So really at the end of the day, you gotta drink 8 cups of Lowsutea a day, keep you hydrated and lower your blood sugar, cholesterol detox. So a lot of people don't drink enough fluid, especially elderly don't drink enough fluid. So they will really don't drink enough fluid, they will not prevent them from dehydration. So drink Lowsutea, prevent dehydration. Lowsutea can make it cold or hot. Instead of soda, juice, or coffee, because when you coffee, cream, and all that will increase your carb intake basically. So best to drink Lowsutea. Drink it as like water. A lot of people are now doing that. They said that's wonderful. Matter of fact, quite a few of my cousins said I used to spend $20 in US to drink coffee. Now he been drinking 2 bottles of Lowsutea. He said he limited $20 of coffee every day. Imagine that. And his blood sugar substantially increased. Lowsutea, drinking Lowsutea brought his blood sugar down to A1C around 6%. Imagine that. That is wonderful. He saved $20 and Lowsutea and then got down to 6% of his A1C. That's really good. 各位朋友，每日即係飲8杯茶咧，幫助你能夠補充你身體嘅水分啦，降低血糖啦，膽固醇啦，同埋排毒，哇幾好啊！就唔好飲咖啡啊，或者蘇打啊、果汁啊，呢全部咧就希望唔好飲啦。因為我有個美國朋友咧，佢飲2支嘅Lowsutea，但係咧佢話每日近時咧俾20蚊咖啡，每5蚊杯，咪飲4杯咖啡20蚊啦。咁而呢邊有一樣嘢，但係佢身體好到不得了。現在嚟講咧，佢 A1C 跌落去6%。由12上掉6%好喎， 個醫生又開心，佢又開心，佢話依家身體健康晒，咁係好開心嘅，所以繼續飲虛糖茶。So in conclusion, as you know, you want to really bring down the insulin resistance. How do you do that? You have to basically not to put any artificial sweetener in there. Like for example, equals for coffee, whatever. And you gotta be really cut down the saturated fat. For example, forget about McDonald's hamburger because all those things, again, is increase your insulin resistance, saturated fat. Trans fat, same thing. And plus, you do not skip your breakfast because if skipping your breakfast, you basically, your hormone will tell you, I need sugar. They will convert sugar from all other body to give it to you. So that is not good. It's just increase your blood sugar. So if you're menstruation, you can increase mood change. What you can do is get your basically snack ready instead of cookies allowed. And you have to increase your physical activities because you don't burn out sugar, your blood sugar goes up. You have to decrease your stress because stress increase what? Blood sugar. And your body infection, same thing, increase blood sugar. Any kind of medication, supplement, if you have sugar-coated thing, will increase your blood sugar. Not to do that. Your rest, not enough sleep, you will increase stress. And then when you have poor health on dental, your gum infection is also increase your blood sugar. And when you eat food, you have to go with low GI food, rich fiber, and portion plan. Net result, you will lower your blood sugar because you have low high GI food, rich fiber, make you feel better, you're better bowel movement, that's super good stuff. You limit alcohol intake, you drink cocktail, guess what? That's a lot of sugar in there. And you have a glass of wine, like 150 ml, that's okay during dinner, but not during nearby evening go sleep. Don't drink any more sugar drink because soda water, it'll give you 40 gram carbs, nothing good for you, and that's going to bad for you. And eat a lot of lean meat, but like chicken without skin, fish, cod, salmon, all the good stuff, but not instead of a lot of fat steak. And then last but not least, drink 8 cups of Lowsutea per day, 8 ounces per cup or 250 ml before a meal and after meal. And then after dinner, you have 2 more glasses. You can drink it during the time, relax, and then 1 hour before sleep. You got really hydrate your body. You go shishi a lot. That's fine because that detox you, dump away your sugar. So that will be really good way to lower your blood sugar. And now you know some of the other fact why you're taking insulin or medication, your blood sugar comes down. Because when we talk about the 10 point, it does affect your blood sugar. And it does go up. 嗱，各位同學，記住第一，當你飲嗰啲所謂嘅代糖咧，其實咧就令到你咧胰島素抗拒嘅。咁所以變咗咧就唔好用呢樣嘢啦。natural 糖係好嘅，但係 natural 糖有咩啊 ？For example 啊，monk fruit 啊，咩個羅漢果糖啊都 OK，agave 啊都 OK。咁呢啲又係 low glycemic index 東西嚟嘅。咁你仲有一樣嘢咧，就係唔好食嗰啲所謂叫 hamburger 啦，即係麥當勞啊，整個大 cheesy burger 啊嗰啲就唔正仔嘅，因為嗰啲全部有胰島素抗拒 ，increase the blood sugar。唔好 skip 個 breakfast， 即係唔好唔食早餐啦。因為唔食早餐，糖又會繼續出嚟。咁如果你係有經期嚟嘅，準備啲食物啦，就冇即係芹菜啊嗰啲嘢擺喺度咧，照咧，當你呢樣嘢咧就可以幫助你，唔會令到你個即係要食嘢嘅時候咧，哇！你食嗰啲餅乾就弊家伙啦。咁你梗係要 activity， 要喐 exercise， 呢個係幫助你好大嘅降低血糖，同埋你個 body infection 亦都好緊要嘅。如果你有發炎咧，一定會糖會高嘅，咁快 treat 到 body infection 啦。同埋你食嘅藥物咧，亦都會一個好影響你嘅糖高嘅。可以好多 supplement 係有糖分喺裏邊啦，咁你要話俾醫生咧，喂，我啲藥唔好有糖啊。咁同埋咧就要唔夠瞓，亦都會影響，同埋你牙病發炎亦都會影響你個糖高嘅。咁食物一定要 low GI， 即係呢個食啲低糖。指數低升糖指數嘅食物，好似 for example 係brown rice 啊呢咁嘢 係會好過食白飯 ，OK？ 咁同埋咧就唔好飲多酒啦，酒係唔 good 嘅。如果你飲紅酒半杯 OK， 食晚飯就唔好晚飯後喺臨瞓前飲，成晚血糖高都唔 good。咁肉咧就一定要瘦啦，要食瘦肉，同埋咧記住飲去糖茶，每日飲8杯，每餐就係前後1杯，然後咧臨瞓即係食完飯咧仲有2杯係點飲啊嗰度，咁你就變咗咧就食完飯飲多杯，然後之後臨瞓1個鐘再飲1杯咧，你就幫助你一個好大忙嘅。So today's lecture, I hope it give you some insight of, helping you to better understand, how do you control blood sugar beyond just medication, and what other thing can help you to increase your sugar, and actually what would the 10-point talk about, and the diet will help you. So I hope this is adding more knowledge to you, and I'm here. If you have any other question, ask question, please ask, and I would love to answer you. I found a lot of people actually also write to me after my webinar, which is welcome. And I guess I have my, let's see, I have my, what happened to my address? Okay. Anyway, do write to us, right up to ctt.com. And I will write here to also on the chat window. I write down my email address. You can write to me at andy@wafong.com right below. And so that way, I'm very happy to answer any question for you in case you have questions. And, we will continue to get better lectures. And what my objective, matter of fact, last night I was talking to quite a few high-level executives, and I found that they also do not understand what is diabetes. But it's important they start learning, and that will be really good. We can able to help them to better provide a better understanding what is pre-diabetic, so they can be prepared, and what is diabetes, so they will not get into trouble. So if you have no question, or you can write to me, I appreciate, okay, one more question. How can you get BP get? Okay, what is BP get? Maybe Gordon, can you help me to understand what is your question a little bit better? Let's see, beside agave, what other natural sweetener? Okay, I found lately you can get agave. Also now in the market, they have what they call monk fruits. It's a fruit, it's also very sweet, but it's natural fruit. So I would suggest try that. Agave is a good one because I know it's Safeway, they have agave. So that's easy to do. And 1 spoon of agave equals 4 spoons of sugar. That's how sweet it is. But it's a low glycemic index fruit, so it's good. And then hamburger. Oh, blood pressure. How do you get blood pressure? How low can you get blood pressure? Okay. What do you mean how low can you get blood pressure? Should be 120 over 80. If your blood pressure should be not over, if you are diabetic or elderly age, I'm answering Gordon's question, okay? If you have diabetes and your age is 60 and above, your blood pressure should not over 130. You should be about 120, 130 and below, because your age, your blood pressure usually goes up higher. But you should not more than 90 on this. Your systolic should be 130, diastolic should not be 90. So your blood pressure should be maintained around, if you're 60 and up, should be between 130 to 80 or no more than 90, okay? So net result, you always control your blood pressure. Even better, you can go like 125 and lower, even better. Now, how can you achieve that? 1, low salt. low salt diet. In other words, you don't put salt and pepper all the time. That will not good for you, okay? 2 is exercise. That will lower your blood pressure. So I hope that will answer you in the sense that key is make sure low salt, exercise, your blood pressure will actually go down. Okay, so I hope that Gordon, I answer your question. Now Eugene's question is lean hamburger okay, or it is considered non-fat hamburger? Actually, if you can get non-fat hamburger, even better. Okay, because a lot of people nowadays they even have plant-based hamburger tastes just as good. So that is really good to do that. Now, because you have a lot of fat hamburger is actually increased by insulin resistance. Okay, so your nuts, besides almond nuts, what have you have? You have pine nuts. You also have cashew nuts. Cashew nuts is also as good. Cashew nuts. So you can get that. And walnuts also very good. So walnuts, you can able to actually increase your walnuts is actually is a very good nuts to eat. Low carbs and also very nutrition. So beside almond, you can have walnuts, cashew nuts, pine nuts, all those are good stuff. What is another? Let me speak Chinese a little bit real fast. Answer a lot of people question. Agave 咧係叫做龍舌果啊，咁呢個係一個好嘅糖嚟嘅，係 natural 嘅 ，OK。咁如果冇呢樣嘢係咩啊？咁就呢個叫依家有個 monk fruit 啦，無花果嘅果亦都好甜啦，又 natural 噶啦。咁仲有咧就係如果我哋有食 hamburger， 如果有 hamburger 食 hamburger， 可唔可以食啲唔肥 hamburger 咧？個問題咧就係因為你去麥當勞咧，佢多數 hamburger 都好肥噶啦，咁你點樣揀咧？冇得揀係咪？如果自己煮咧，就真係食啲叫唔肥嘅 hamburger。咁仲有依家有呢個係淨係植物做嘅 hamburger 都 OK 嘅。咁呢個 plant food 嘅 hamburger 係 OK 嘅，你買到就可以食呢啲，或者餐室依家好多餐高貴啲餐有嘅。咁嗰個係一個好嘅食物 ，OK。咁如果仲話 nuts 咧，有杏仁之後仲有咩？仲有果仁有咩 nuts 啊？有呢個腰果啦，仲有合桃啦，呢啲就係好 good 嘅 nuts 嘅 ，OK。咁咁我講咗，仲有一個問題，如果你血壓高咗，咩嘅高血壓啦？高血壓就係130度以上就高嘅，90度下上去又係高嘅。呢兩個血壓咧都希望喺130以下，下壓咧係90以下。咁呢兩個血壓係 OK 嘅。So I just want to answer that in Chinese before for my Chinese customer. Okay, so those are good questions, Eugene. Now, one more question they have is, what is the ketone urine? Okay, now ketone urine is basically what happened is your body needs sugar, so they can't find sugar. What they get? They're going to get muscles, fats. All these will convert sugar. However, with that, they create one item. Your blood becomes acidic, so they become ketone acidosis. And that's a dangerous sign. And you can able to find that by a ketone test, by urine, a strip, a change color. If you are ketone tested, meaning that you are now converting your blood sugar using muscles and fat to convert. If you continue like that, you can go to ketoacidosis. That's a dangerous, you can die out of that. So that's why you got to be careful. When you see that, you got to go see doctor, if not go to emergency, because you got to lower that blood sugar, not converting sugar using your muscles and fat. Okay, so I hope that answer Eugene on that. One more thing. What is insulin resistance? What is it? Why it is and why it's bad? Okay, insulin resistance. Now, as you know, when your body, matter of fact, one of the always most problem for many people is your B cell no longer work anymore. Your B cells are damaged. So your body are continue coming with B cells, but the B cells are being damaged. It doesn't take sugar into the cells. So that is the problem, so-called insulin resistance. You know, we pump a lot of insulin, but insulin doesn't take your sugar into the cells anymore. So why is bad? Because your insulin continue to produce, it doesn't work. That's why it's bad. So how you decrease that is don't eat saturated fats. Don't try to get all these artificial artificial sweetener to sweeten the food. Then you are decreasing the insulin resistance. Matter of fact, insulin resistance is one of the most common item you require to use more sugar. That's the reason. So you got to be careful on that. 嗱，各位糖友記住，因為咧糖尿患病者最大嘅問題咧，好多人咧就有個叫 insulin resistance， 即係話糖尿嗰個胰島素抗拒。咩胰島素抗拒啊？因為你個 B cell no longer work， 你個 B cell 已經唔 work 啦，咁啊出好多 B cell 出嚟都唔 work 嘅，咁呢個就係胰島素抗拒啦。咁變咗點解敗咧？就係你好多糖出嚟，但係啲糖入唔到細胞喎。咁你咪成日都好多糖喺度咯，咁變咗嚟講咧，咁鬼多糖咧，弊家伙啦，因為咧最後咧你啲糖用唔到嘅原來，咁咪變咗好弊係咪？咁呢個咧係一個重要點咧，所以你唔好食嗰啲叫 saturated fat 嘅東西啦，就係啲即係啲好肥嘅東西，呢啲全部係加胰島素抗拒嘅。第二樣嘢咧，唔好食咁多，即係啲咁嘅代糖咧，亦都係做呢樣嘢。OK， so I hope that answered your question, Eugene. One question from Gordon. He said, my blood pressure is around 165. Actually, that's very good blood pressure. As long as you this blood pressure, it doesn't get dizzy. That is good blood pressure. That is real good. So keep it up. I think because you know why you're 100/65? Because you exercise. I think that is the reason why your blood pressure is good. That is not low. Actually, that's good blood pressure. As long as you don't get dizzy, because some people with 60, they start dizzy, but you don't get that, you are perfectly good. With a low blood pressure, Gordon, you have better chance of less stroke, you have live longer, and you have less chance of heart attack. That is a good sign of you. So very good. I hope I answered all the questions. I'm so happy we have Gordon and Eugene from Hawaii asked more questions. It benefit everybody, and I appreciate your interest on the question. I hope I answered all your questions for you guys. 我希望已經同你各位 answer 晒啲 question 啦。咁如果係有一樣唔記得講 ketone acidosis， 即係如果你個尿咧係有 ketone 咧，因為你糖係點出嚟咧？就喺 muscle 喺個肌肉同埋 fat 度出嚟。咁呢個咧就會做到 ketone。咁 ketone 咧就如果你嗰啲血液咧就開始會酸性嗰上嘅 high pH 開始，咁啊弊家伙啦！呢個係會死人嘅。咁如果你有呢樣嘢嘅時候咧，記得快去睇醫生，同埋或者如果真係呢樣嘢發生咧，你要唔自己睇醫生入醫院啦。OK， so keep that in mind. So I hope that I have answered everybody's questions. It was very good that you guys participate, asked so many questions. I'm so happy. So we'll continue to get more interesting lecture for everybody, and so we can able to go through holding this hand throughout our diabetic journey. So have a nice weekend. Take care. Goodbye, everybody.